Mornings on the Mall.
Joining us on the line right now, he's the host of Special Report on the Fox News Channel, good friend of this program, Bret Baier. Good morning to you, Bret.
Good morning.
So I know that you do not speak for or represent the Fox Business Network, but I noticed that there's some news regarding the upcoming debate on FBN, and it is that a couple of people who were on the main stage at the last debate will not be on the main stage. We're talking about Chris Christie and Huckabee. Mike Huckabee will not be on the main stage. I guess there has to be at some point a winnowing of the field, right?
Yeah, listen, they made the decision going in weeks and weeks ago. They put out publicly that the threshold to get to the main stage was 2.5%. In an average of, I think they were taking 5 of the most recent polls that they find legitimate, and they've looked at the methodology of those polls, and 2.5% to get to the main stage, and then the basement on the undercard debate would be 1%. So not only is Christie and Mike Huckabee, are they moving to the undercard debate, but Lindsey Graham, George Pataki, Jim Gilmore, they do not qualify for the undercard. So you're going to have 4 on the undercard and 8 on the main stage.
And, of course, Jeb Bush running for president, he's seeing his numbers start to fall a little bit, but he guaranteed yesterday that he will win New Hampshire. His father is really in the news these days, Bret Baier. There's a biography about Bush 41, and I understand you've got a special tonight hosted by Brit Hume, and also you've got the author of the book on your show today. Is the Bush 41 emergence going to help Jeb Bush, do you think? And what's the story with these books?
The book is fascinating in that John Meacham had unprecedented access to the Bush family, and more importantly, the audio diary. I didn't know that 41 had done this, but all throughout his presidency had an audio diary that he basically talked into a recorder.
How about that?
And we have those tapes, and you're going to hear them tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, in this special with Brit Hume, and then just a taste of it on my show in the interview with John Meacham.
Bush 41 in his own voice. But, Bret, is that something that could have, if there was ever a problem during the Bush presidency, is that something that could have been, subpoenaed by Congress?
Sure. We saw what happened with the Nixon tapes.
Yes.
But I think, sure. And I think that it's fascinating to listen to. This is as close as we're going to get to real-time interior thinking. He puts his emotion and thoughts into these audio diaries as he's going through his presidency.
So it wasn't like a taping system in the Oval Office. It was like, at the end of the day, he would just sort of download his thoughts, right?
Exactly. He'd go in the other room.
How fascinating that is going to be.
For example, when he loses in 1992 to Bill Clinton, that night Barbara's in bed, he goes to the other room, and he whispers into this audio recorder about his feelings and thoughts of that loss that night. And it's really powerful.
I can't wait. I'm definitely in for that. That sounds great.
But, as far as him being in the news, obviously there were some newsy nuggets there where he's criticizing 43, his son's war counsel, and Vice President Cheney and Don Rumsfeld, and so that kind of bubbled up. And they've responded. 43's even responded. And basically the response comes down to post 9/11, it was a different kind of view.
And you wonder about again, to bring it back to Jeb Bush in New Hampshire. New Hampshire was very important to Bush 41 back when he was getting the nomination in 2008. You remember that's the Bob Dole. That New Hampshire brought Bush back because Bob Dole had won Iowa. That was the Bob Dole stop lying about my record time, right? In 98. Does having 41 emerge, does that sort of help the voters in New Hampshire kind of remember, we like that guy and here's his son?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's more, I don't know, how it plays. There's the dynastic side that is an albatross that, the country's like, okay, we've Bush's, Clintons, we've switched off in one shape or another, being a part of an administration for a number of presidencies. I think this focus, though, does give Jeb maybe some momentum. He needs something because he's on a 3.0 kind of restart.
Yeah. Let me talk about the Russian crash. because that's been very, very interesting to watch how apparently now both British and American intelligence has seemed to be coalescing around the idea that there was a bomb on board that, and that maybe that bomb was placed there by ISIS. They talk about the fact that they picked up chatter in the region. This could be a really significant thing because we did not really understand that ISIS had that kind of capability and that kind of planning ability.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we don't know yet, and I think the fact that we don't know it is interesting. I mean, there's no specific evidence, bomb residue. We haven't heard of that. We've heard about this terrorist chatter. We've heard there have been some reports about a bag on the plane or something. I think it's really murky now,
yeah.
And there's obviously a lot of pressure from Russia and Egypt to not jump to conclusions before they have it locked down, because Egypt would really take a hit on tourism. Sharm el-Sheikh, the only way you can get there is fly. And Russia obviously would have to retaliate in some way, and I would bet that would be increasing presence in Syria.
We had Eli Lake from Bloomberg View yesterday on Drive at 5, Bret, and he focused very much on this Egypt relationship. This administration has not had a great relationship with the current Egyptian regime, and the fact that these things are being leaked and it's making Egypt look bad and putting pressure on the current regime there, that actually could potentially be a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
is that what you're hearing?
I have heard that it's a little rocky. It's gotten better. They finally came through with weapons and equipment that had been delayed for el-Sisi after he took over from Morsi.
Mm-hmm.
You may remember I went down to Cairo and I interviewed el-Sisi. And,
yes.
Listen, he is a guy that is, a strong figure, and any undermining by anyone, including the U.S., I think he changes, possibly where he's lining up.
Well, the special tonight, hosted by Bret Hume, is about Bush 41, based on the book by John Meacham. Listen, we look forward to seeing that, and appreciate you joining us again, Bret, as you always are.
Bret, any truth to this rumor that you're in the running to replace Daniel Craig as James Bond?
No.
Well, I told them that you do rock up the tuxedo.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I had one on last night for fight night.
See,
There you
Baier.
go. There you go.
Bret Baier.